Good afternoon, I hope you're having a nice day. I'm Francisco and today I'm talking about something that I consider quite important, something that I think will help any person to achieve their goals. That something is perseverance. I personally see perseverance as the most important characteristic the human has, as the central piece of the greatest achievements in world history, and as the most important value that a person can have. And I know what you will say. Francisco, you're exaggerating to make your point. And that's probably what you will say at first instance. But let me show you the real importance of perseverance through one story. This is the story of a man, of a country. The story of a man who changed a country and maybe the whole world with it. Britain's Prime Minister Winston Churchill was elected during one of the most difficult times in history for Britain. It was and the world itself. The whole Europe was in war with Germany, and most of it had already fallen by the fascist rule of Adolf Hitler. Poland had already been invaded. The Netherlands, Belgium, France, and the only remaining country in the West was Great Britain. It was the summer of 1940, and the United States hadn't decided if they were entering war in Europe. Actually, they were still neutral in the conflict, and their main character, Winston Churchill, was confronting a big question, an interrogation of such great resilience that it will change the world tides forever. If surrendering or keep fighting. The Nazis were constantly bombing London and other important cities in the UK. The people were suffering. Most of the parliament had advised Churchill that he should surrender to Germany, that way ending the war. But Churchill knew the nature of Hitler's politics, and he knew that that man wanted to rule the world under the worst of intentions. Churchill decided to persevere, to reinforce the troops and not surrender. So he ran to the parliament, ordered the meeting that will be broadcasted in the entire nation, and gave the greatest speech of the war, and maybe one of the best in all history. We shall never surrender. In this speech, he addressed the issue that the UK was living, but that they will never give up, and that Great Britain will find land, sea, and air to death before surrendering. And they made it. Well, the rest is history. Britain fought relentlessly, gained allies, and ended up winning the war. As a matter of fact, most historians think that if Churchill had never taken such a big decision, the world would have been taken by the Nazis. So, I guess you can now believe me when I say that persistence is one of the most important traits of human race, right? And now, how can you apply it to your daily life? You see, the wonderful thing about being persistent is that you can be an awful learner, a bad worker, a terrible student, and still be successful. Because it doesn't matter how much times you try it, you will end up achieving your goal. For example, maybe you're terrible at math, let's suppose. But if you're persistent, you will end up understanding every single topic because you will review it over and over until you fully understand it. Let me tell you that this world isn't built by the rich, or the intelligent, or the privileged one. It's built by the persistent ones, the ones that fall and stand over again. The ones that have an idea which they truly believe and keep on with that idea until it becomes a reality. So be persistent for God's sake. Never leave a dream. Never throw an idea, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. Never surrender to adversity, and then you will certainly change the world. Thank you.